Despite the lack of price action in this recent bullish pump that we've been having for these past few weeks or months, Radix is still one of the projects I'm most bullish on and is still one of my largest holdings. So today, I'm gonna briefly cover why. I've made so many videos on Radix, so you can feel free to go through my channel and watch that. So I'm not gonna go through all of the fundamentals, but I'm just gonna go through some of the recent fundamentals and show how things are growing and picking up and how the market just hasn't caught up to it yet. And then more importantly, I'm gonna show you my Radix passive income strategy and how you can get over 200% APY via Radix and a stablecoin. So before we get started, I do have to say this video should not be taken as financial advice. Please consult with your financial advisor before making any investment decisions. This video is for your education purposes only. Like we always say, do your own research, but use this channel as a starting point. All right, so before we get into it, guys, if you like this kind of stuff and you want to become a yield farming professional and you want to get notified of the best yield farming opportunities in DeFi so you can accumulate your favorite altcoins ahead of the next bull market so you can sell them for more profits, click the link in the description, book a free strategy session with me. We're going to get a good idea of your goals, your experience, and just see if our program is a good fit for you and see how we can help you. At the very least, you'll make a good connection, learn a few things, and if this isn't the right fit, I'm sure we can point you in the right direction. So without further ado, let's get into these yields, man. So Radix is a layer 1 blockchain. They are a non-EVM blockchain, which is non-Ethereum virtual machine compatible. They're doing their own thing. They're building this thing right. They have a programming language that's simple and asset-oriented smart contract programming language. It's more secure, less hacked, and it allows you to build more efficiently. The tokenomics are pretty great. I made a video on that as well. They haven't been listed on major exchanges yet, so that liquidity is not there, so you kind of get in before that happens. And they have developer royalties that allow developers to build, the standard for certain protocols, and if people use them, they get to make passive income. This causes healthy competition to ensure that the right code is being built and used. These are just a few amongst many things, and like I said, I've covered these in many videos. So let's get into some fundamental and technical analysis. So if we go to DeFi Llama here and we go to chains and we scroll down, you can see that Radix right now is number 58. They have a TVL of 19 million. As you can see, it's been growing. It's kind of been falling off here. But if you look at all the metrics, they're all trending upwards. One of my favorite quotes by Warren Buffett is that in the short term, the market is a voting machine. In the long term, it's a weighing machine. And what that means is eventually the fundamentals and like the actual value of the project will be reflected in the price. But right now, people don't see that, so they aren't voting like they should, like in relation to the price. So you look at volume, you see it increasing. You look at core developers, you see it increasing. And this is a good metric to watch because if there aren't developers building on it, that means there aren't applications for people to actually use. And if there aren't any users, then your product is, there is no product basically. And then dev commits also trending upwards. So all these metrics are trending upwards. People are downloading the wallets. They hit like 10K wallet downloads. New dApps are being launched, almost on a weekly basis. Subscribe to their email list and they'll tell you about all the updates that they're doing. They were talking about how the CEO met with a bank. It was supposed to be for like 30 minutes, ended up being for like an hour. They had more people come in. So institutions and banks are interested in the technology. So these are all good signs. And if we look at the price here, we've seen Bitcoin pumping, Ethereum pumping, altcoins are pumping, but Radix hasn't yet. And that's a good thing because I've been taking profits from my other altcoin positions and putting it into Radix because eventually this thing is going to go. And as you can see here, I have all my take profit strategies. These green lines are all my take profit strategies. So I don't even have to think once it starts going up. All I have to do is wait till my take profits are hit. And then I'm taking profits off of the table. Like I always say, it doesn't matter how good a protocol is. People sold Apple, people sold Amazon, people sold Facebook. People are going to take profits. People are always like, oh, I want to hold for the long term, da, da, da. And that's not a bad thing. It's good to have a percentage of your bag where maybe you put a time frame on it instead of a price point on it. So you're like, hey, I'm going to take this much off in 10 years or 15 years or whatever. But always have a take profit strategy because you don't want to, I know a lot of people watching this probably bought tokens on the last bull rally, thought things were going to go up forever, and they dropped down and they're either waiting on the positions or sold as they're waiting for things to go back up. You need to know where you're going to get out before you get in. And before I show you this yield farming strategy, When it comes to developing a yield farming strategy along with a trading strategy, because I always talk about why you should mix both, the idea is to accumulate an asset passively that you want, but you still have a take profit strategy with that asset, so that as you're accumulating it and you're just putting it in your wallet and stacking or compounding, you know once it gets to a certain price point, however much you accumulated by then, take some profits off the table. You will be happy. You cannot time the top. Sure, you can get lucky, but that's not a sustainable model, and you will lose doing that eventually. Now, let's get into the yield farming strategy. So if we go back here to DeFi Llama, you can see Caviarnine has the highest TVL in 14 million. You can see in the past month, it's been a 185% increase in liquidity. In the past 7 days, it's down 2%, but still pretty good. And that's going to be the decentralized exchange where we're going to yield farm on. So here we are at the Caviarnine website. 100% of tokens of team tokens locked. That's a good thing. And it shows like the smart contract audits, which is really good. Plus, it's on Radix. The programming language is more secure. So, you know, they have a few products here, and that's the cool thing about Radix. They allow you to build like creative things that it's harder to do on Ethereum. Like you can build intuitively, like how you want things built, not have to do this whole maze in your mind, because Solidity is confusing, to be honest. And developers always say it. They say they spend 10% of their time building, 90% of their time auditing. Radix is trying to flip that on its head. So you see they have all these different products. Some are coming soon, some are live, but we're going to be talking about the shape liquidity. So if we hit launch app, it brings us to the pools where you can LP and earn a yield. So I'm not sure what LSU LP is in Radix, but 30% APY. This is the pool I'm in. Radix XUSDC. That's another cool thing. They have Tether and USDC on Radix now, so you can actually take profits. Like a few weeks or months ago, you can only take profits in Radix, which is, you know, you want to take profits in stable coins. 235.74% APR. Total value locked is 152%. Guys, I don't know how long this is going to last, but that is a pretty high yield for something like Radix that has a lot of promise. 235.74 divided by 12 is 19.64. So you get 19% per month, which equates to 4.9% per week. That's not bad for not doing anything. All right. And I'm sure as people start to buy more Radix, this is going to be the DEX they go on here to use. That is going to increase, and it might decrease sometimes as well. Radix Floop, which is one of the tokens for Caviar, 31%. Like these are pretty good yields, guys. So if you're interested in accumulating Radix, you know, this might be something you want to check out. I've also made other videos on the projects that I'm accumulating within the Radix ecosystem, because once the Radix token pumps, the ecosystem tokens are going to pump as well as people start to speculate. So I already have my position set. So if you're interested, this is the time to do research. I'm not going to say that I don't know if there's going to be another opportunity like this, because the next bull market, everything's going to go up. But man, the fundamentals for Radix are really, really strong. I've been making videos on Radix for over a year now. So with that, I'd like to conclude this video. If you got value, I ask that you consider subscribing, drop a like, comment. Let me know what you want to cover next, whether if it's in the Radix ecosystem or just within crypto, period. So I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.